Hello, hello, it's SKFC back here with another video. Today we're going to be talking about one Sir Marcus Rashford. I'm going to be making this video mainly because of his desire to, at least allegedly from what I'm saying so far, to leave Manchester United. He's probably been the longest tenured player there. He's been playing for there for almost 10 years at this point. He's obviously came from their academy, and it really made me think, what is history going to say about Marcus Rashford if this is his last season? What do I think Manchester United fans are going to say about Marcus Rashford if this is his last season? And kind of just seeing what he's managed to accomplish over the years for this club. Now, I don't think there's anywhere else for us to start except from his debut game. When Manchester United had played um, FC Midtjylland. Definitely did not pronounce that right. But I remember this game. He started because there was some type of injury crisis to a bunch of players, and they were also down 2-1 on aggregate going into the second leg of this game at home. And so, Van Hal, who was the manager at the time, had decided to give him a start. And obviously, as you can see right here, he showed up with, 2 goals in the span of 12 minutes to help them win the match. And, you could kind of tell, especially for Manchester United, that they felt like, they had found someone special. Because I think this is also a guy that was getting plaudits when he was in the academy. I'll be honest, I'm not really into academy football like that, but he was getting hyped in the academy as well. So for him to come in on his debut, 18 years of age, and score 2 important goals in a European knockout tie is, the sign of something special. He then proceeded to, on his Premier League debut, mind you, get 2 goals and an assist against Arsenal. So, as an 18-year-old, in his first 2 matches ever for a big club such as Manchester United, the guy had 4 goals and an assist. So you could obviously tell that, people were thinking that there was something special here. Obviously, I'm not going to do every single game from his first season, but I kind of want to fast forward to when a certain Portuguese guy came in to be his manager. By the time Jose Mourinho came, to be the manager of Manchester United, so this would have been Marcus Rashford's second season. He obviously brought in, big superstar strikers like Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and obviously Ibrahimovic went on to score 17 goals that season in the Premier League. So he was given most of the game time as striker. Rashford was kind of relegated, in a sense, to being a winger, which obviously is not what he was playing under Louis van Gaal. Um, and Mourinho was kind of criticized for this. And even in his second season in 17-18, again, he brought in Lukaku to be the main striker. So Marcus Rashford was not really giving that opportunity under Mourinho to be that main striker that gets, most of the shots and gets most of the passes from their teammates. And obviously it kind of just goes with Mourinho's MO. He's not a type of manager that likes to value young players in that respect. He's definitely more of a likes to work with his veterans. And when you look at kind of both of those seasons, Rashford did play a lot of games, but most of it came on the bench or it came through the wings. He didn't really have a chance to fully grow into that role, I would say, especially when you consider how young he was by the time Mourinho became his manager at, 19, 20, 21 years old. Um, and, he did finish, run up in the Golden Boy in 2016, and then in 2017 he finished in third place behind Dembele and Mbappe. So he was kind of seen to be in those conversations when you kind of look at what the media was thinking about him. And part of it could just be because of the English. Obviously, we know how the English media likes to hype up players, but I do think that there was something about him, especially for his age at the time, that kind of warranted those plaudits to begin with. Because even in those limited opportunities that he was getting, he still had pretty important games. Like when Mourinho first came in, I think he contributed to like 3 goals in the first month that he was there on off the wing as a 19-year-old. When he even in that second season, I think in his first 16 matches, he had contributed to something like 12 goals. So he was, productive, but it just, I guess, in a sense, wasn't enough for what Mourinho wanted, but yet he also didn't go out on loan either. So, then you kind of skip over to, what I would probably say was the best stretch of Marcus Rashford's United stint, right? So by the time we get into not so much 18-19, but I would say 2019 to 2021, right? So these are the all years. Man United played a more counter-attacking type of football, which kind of, favors his style of play more, being able to be fast, direct, skillful, and he was just trying to kind of grow into his body in terms of developing and all that. So, and as you can see here, 22 goals, 9 assists, as well as 21 goals, 13 assists. So he was starting to put out, the type of production that you would classify with a good to great player, right? So, and I think one of the things that, kind of goes overlooked in this period is that I believe he was dealing with a lot of injuries at the time that he would play through. And, when you can kind of consider that fact, I would say that goes some way into explaining kind of the drop off in production and, Ollie's last season there, along with the addition of Ronaldo, who obviously is going to eat up a lot of those, shot taking actions for Manchester United. And then obviously he has the bounce back season in 22-23. So kind of where has it gone wrong for Marcus Rashford? That's kind of where the question is. And I would say it's a combination of a couple things. I would say one, he just didn't really fully develop, beyond that initial potential that he showed. Obviously, he's had 3 great seasons, two to three good to great seasons. So it's not as if he isn't doing anything, but when you kind of look at a club of Manchester United stature, those 3 seasons have to be the norm if you want to get the kind of plaudits that obviously, he would want. And, he just hasn't showcased that ability to keep it sustained. And, I still think there's a really good player in there. But it'll definitely be interesting to see where he goes. Hopefully he doesn't just go to Saudi Arabia, but I do think kind of the lack of proper coaching development, because I do think Van Gaal was really good for his development, especially when you see the 8 goals and 1690s, is that he just didn't really get a coach to believe in his primary development until Ollie got there. And then by the time Ollie left, Ten Hag, we already made a video on Ten Hag, so I'm not even going to go into much into that again. But yeah, I think overall, though, when you kind of look at everything that the guy has accomplished for Manchester United, I would probably say he's been the best player they've had in the last 10 years, from when you kind of just look at everything that's been accomplished, since he's been there. He's won 2 FA Cups, a Europa League, a League Cup as well. I mean, he has had good seasons, but I ultimately think, especially if Amarim turns out to be the elite manager that people are, kind of tallying him to be, is that Marcus Rashford might ultimately end up just being the face of kind of Manchester United's down period, and kind of being the epitome of that, which would be unfortunate for him. But we'll see, what his legacy overall can be in football. But overall, if this is the last season that he's at Manchester United, I don't think he will get the love that he would have been wanted from the club and from the fans. But ultimately, that's going to be my video for today. And I'm going to try to make some more videos. I know I've been MIA, so I do apologize about that. And just remember to like the video, comment down below what you think, and most of all, remember to have a good